Welcome back everybody to another video. So today we're working on the Z32 again. We're going to be trying to figure out what's wrong with the taillights. Taillights keep staying on. The headlights are kind of tripping out. I'll try and show you guys in a second. The headlights are tripping out, and ever since I got this car, the turn signals have not worked. Like, the hazards work, turn signals don't work. I've already changed the turn signal switch, and I replaced some fuses that were missing and blown, and still no turn signals, but I get hazards. So maybe I'll figure that one out, hopefully, in this video. But if not, I'm not too worried about it, because it's been one of those ones that has puzzled me ever since I got this car. But let me connect the battery real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about with the headlights and with the brakes. Because yeah, if I leave the battery connected, they just stay on. So there's the brake lights. So as soon as you plug the battery in, they're on. And then let's see if we can see the headlights. So you can see that one's coming on. This one is kind of coming on. It's like super dim, and when I mess with the headlight switch, it will eventually start working again. So I have another headlight switch, but when in the last video I noticed that I had messed with the turn signal, with the headlight switch, and after I did that, in one of the clips I noticed that these just like turned on and then turned back off on their own. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with it, if the headlight switch is the issue for the headlights and for this. I don't really think so, but I mean, who knows? Sometimes these cars can throw you for a loop big time. Oh, there it goes. Check it out. It just magically turned on. I heard it click. So anyways, I replaced that brake switch last year. It might have gone bad. I don't know. There's a grommet down there that could have gone bad, but I'm pretty sure I just replaced that too, because I thought that initially that's what was bad, and it was bad, but that wasn't the problem. The brake switch was bad too. Just being that this car had sat for years before I got it. I mean, you can see all this crust up here from it just sitting outside for so long. I mean, I'll address that eventually. The body work will get done eventually, but for me, mechanical is way more important than body work. So I want this thing to run good and, you know, be able to drive down the road. So we'll get under the dash in a second and see if that brake switch is what's messed up, because I mean, it's on the side of my house again for another year, almost another year, and it could have just gone bad the same way that the other one went bad. So here is the other brake switch. The other one that was on there, it had just like split apart. So this gray piece from the black piece, it was busted open just from, you know, years of being in the heat. It just fell apart, and who knows, maybe the same thing happened to the other one, or since it has this adjustment that you have to do on it, maybe it's out of adjustment. Possibly, I don't know. We'll figure it out though. At least the brakes, turn signals, I hope we can figure out, but I don't know, that one had me stumped last time. All right guys, so the first thing we're gonna have to do here for this is there's 2 Phillips head screws under. Get some light up in there. there's those two Phillips head screws. Yours are probably not going to be as rusty as mine, but that's how these are. So let's take those off, and then this whole thing right here should come off, and then we can get to the connectors on the back. Alright, got that. And just pull this off now. Now you can see the connectors. Unplug those connectors and then just switch the, holy cow, just switch the switch around. Alright, there we go, that one's off. I'm pretty sure if I took this apart, I could probably fix it, because it's more than likely just from not being used so long. And this car sat around for years, as you guys can see with those screws, how rusty they look. This car sat outside for, I want to say, like maybe 10 years, maybe a little bit more than 10 years, but it sat around outside, and whenever it rained or any of the moisture, it just got to all this stuff. Obviously it's not going to be like how some places where, you know, rust is a big deal. We're in Arizona, so it's not that big of a deal, but you know, it's still something. You know, you get some moisture into places, it's still gonna affect stuff. So hopefully this is the same, everything is the same. We'll just plug it all in and try it out and see how it works. Okay, those lights are on. My headlights are on now, fine. So at least we got rid of that issue. All right, so now that we got that taken care of, now we got to figure out the issue with the brake lights. So it could just be that it needs adjustment, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty positive that the last time that I did this, it took me a few times to get the adjustment right. And it could just be the same thing, that I need some more adjustment. So at least I have the other one here just in case I need it. So what I've done now, it's really hard to show you because there's like no space for me, at least, unless I take the seat out and do some mechanic yoga. I unplugged the brake switch, and since I have the other one, I'm gonna plug the other one in, and if I press the switch, the brakes should go off. When I let it off, they come back on. So we'll try that with the new one. If that works, I'll just swap it out. So now we know the brake switch is no good. That one is already fully depressed. Like it's pressed in all the way. Let me grab the other switch so I can show you guys. I gotta unplug it anyways from the car. So here you got your switch. This is the brake switch. There is another one, and I believe that other one's for the cruise control. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what that one's for. So you got your switch. It's just 2-pin connector. This is how you get your adjustment for the brake pedal. And then this little button right here. Well, so when this is out, the brakes are on. When this gets pressed in, the brakes turn off. So right there, the brakes are on. Press it in, brakes are off. Easy peasy. Luckily we have this switch right here already to test it on the car, but this is usually when your brake lights are turning on, it's either that grommet that goes where this button is supposed to touch, or the switch. I wanted to try and show you guys how to replace this, but it's really hard to get myself into the car as it is, into that space, and then to try and put a camera up there and a light. Yeah, it just wasn't gonna happen, at least not in this car. So I mean, all you do is this little locking nut right here is what holds it in place. You loosen this one, it backs off from the brake pedal, and where the switch goes into, and then once you back that off, then you could just twist this all the way out, obviously after you take your connector off. But then all you do is if yours was fine in the right position, then you just try and get it back to the same length that it was at on the old one. If you were having a problem with the adjustment like I was, you got to kind of mess with it until you finally get the right adjustment. And I mean, that's really it. There's nothing really to this. So that's easy and done with. Now I'm gonna try and figure out the whole turn signal thing, and if I figure something out, I'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, so I just cleaned the car. I had my son help me clean the car.
Got it in 4K.
You say got him in 4K? Got it running right now, and we're gonna go see if I can test out another turn signal switch on the car, see if that's my problem. So we're gonna get to go for a little drive. So I don't think I said anything about this, but the turn signal switch when I got this car was broken. That's why I assumed that, you know, that this was the problem. I got another one and didn't fix it. And after going through checking all the fuses and stuff, and I found some blown ones and some missing ones, switched them out, I was like, oh, well, that's got to be it. But now I'm thinking maybe this thing that I got, this one that I bought, is bad. Luckily, I met a guy recently that needed a part for me, and I let him test it out, and he's gonna let me do the same. He's got a turn signal switch. He's gonna let me test out and see if it works. So we're gonna go for a little drive right now. It's like 30-minute drive, and we'll see how this car does, because this is probably gonna be the longest I've driven it since like last year and a half, something like that. I don't even remember anymore. It's been quite a bit, so let's see how it goes. Gas station. Let's just get a little bit of gas, a little bit of E. Make sure that we don't run out of gas on the way over there. Alright guys, so now we're gonna get on the freeway. If anything cool happens, I'll try and turn the camera on. Well guys, that was a bust. The turn signal switch did not fix my issue. So heading home now. Hopefully we can figure this out in another video. I had to actually find some wiring diagrams for the turn signal switch and figure out what I'm missing, because would have assumed, you know, the car just sat for a while. They never messed with anything. The turn signal switch was broken. Replacing the fuses, replacing the turn signal switch should have fixed the issue, but it didn't. So maybe in another video I'll dedicate that just to the turn signals. That way we could figure out what's going on with that, because I mean, you could drive it like this, use some hand signals and stuff, but it's kind of annoying to not have the turn signals working properly. So we just got to get home now, and I mean, the car is driving fine. I'm actually happy that it's driving as good as it is. It did cut out once, and I think that was due to the boost controller. Some of the settings are all wonky, and I think it had the over boost or something like that set really low, so when I hit like 5 psi it cut me off. So right now it should be fine. Not that I'm gonna be doing any pulls right now, I'm just trying to get some miles in the car, but we'll see how it goes on the way home. Drove like 30 minutes fine over to the dude's house, and now we're heading home. It should be all good. Well guys, we made it home. Drove fine. Only that one time that it cut out on us. Doesn't really seem to be smoking that much anymore, so hopefully that's clearing itself out. We did go on the freeway for about, I don't know, 20 minutes each way. So running good, no overheating. All seems to be working great. I think this is where we're gonna end the video, guys. I wanted to do like a whole cleaning the car video and going for a drive, but I mean, we ended up doing it in this one. Cleaned it, not that well, but we cleaned it. We got some gas in it. Took it for a drive on the highway. Everything seems to be working good. So the next thing that we can do is all the little things. Turn signal switch. That one we already know about. The cluster, I have another one sitting right there. That one's an NA one, but being that my transmission is an NA transmission, the speed is off. So all those sensors, the speed sensors on the transmission are gonna be reading off. So when I'm going 60 on here, I'm actually going 75 or close to 75. So we got that to switch out and probably clean out the interior or something. I'm sure we'll find something else. Something else will go wrong, I'm sure. So until next time, guys, hope you guys are enjoying these, and we'll see you later. Peace.